Being a friend.
Yes.
Travel down the road and back again.
The Golden Girls.
Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
That's some frightening stuff. I don't even know what to say. Is B. Author really coming up next? I hope not.
And the card attached would say thank you for being a friend.
Where's number 9, Drew Brees, when you need him? Like now. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees, for bailing us out. B. Author and the Golden Girls. It's the Neutral Ground. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. We have a really good one lined up for you on this Monday afternoon. As I tweeted a little bit earlier, who better to discuss the new Supreme Court, these major rulings in just the last few weeks? Gun law in New York, Roe versus Wade, the prayer coach ruling, major rulings. Who better to discuss it than former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana, Harry Rosenburg will join us. A real lawyer, a real attorney, goes to court, knows the law, likes studying it, looking at the other side, not like an insurance company facilitator. You're not going to see him on a billboard somewhere. No, he's a real lawyer, Harry Rosenburg, who can break this down for us. These 3 rulings in particular. He's going to join us in about 13 minutes, 12 minutes, right around 4:20. Spread dar word. Thanks for joining us. Have you found us yet on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM? New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. We're on Cox Channel 4 television all over the state. Spectrum Channel 333 TV all over the state. CoreyTalks.com. Take it with you. Live streaming. And we're on YouTube also. You can check out the program on YouTube during or even after the fact. Harry Rosenberg coming up in a few minutes. Yeah, the new Supreme Court monumental rulings in the last few weeks. The gun law in New York, striking down gun laws in New York State, California, 6 other states. Roe versus Wade, leaving it up to the states. This prayer coach ruling, it's okay for the public school coach to have a prayer at the center of the field after the game. We'll talk about all that stuff. And I'll give you my view on all 3 of those rulings. And I'd love your view on all 3 of these rulings. You like where things are going? You don't like where things are going? 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3-0. What do you think? 0 for 3? What do you think about the last few weeks with the Supreme Court? These are monumental. Guns, abortion, prayer. Gun, abortion, and prayer. All major league topics. Rouse's Markets phone lines, area code 504-766-9480, 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Carjack City, woman pulls over Sunday morning, like 11 in the morning, on I-10, I-510 in the east, looking under the hood. Some jerks pull behind her not to help her. They pull out a gun and steal her car. Right on the middle of the I-10 by I-510 with people zipping by and doing nothing. No one following, no one pursuing, no one getting a license plate, nothing. Probably 2 stolen vehicles. Absolutely pathetic. Carjack City, broad daylight, Sunday on the I-10. Now, that's why it's sad. They're talking the talk, and sadly, they're walking the walk. Keiko, this gallery on Royal Street, is closing. 733 Royal. They've been there for years. They posted this. Hello, folks. After many years of investment and great memories, we've decided to close our 733 Royal location due to countless encounters that defines and reflects the city's unsafeness. Our last day is August 27th. Can you blame Keiko, the gallery, for bailing on Royal Street? I mean, they nail it with that statement. Closing due to countless encounters. Too many encounters to count. Just dozens and dozens, maybe 100 plus, just all the time. Encounters with lawless losers. That defines and reflects the city's unsafeness. This is what the city of New Orleans is. What Keiko's saying. Yeah, it does. It defines the city's unsafeness. Countless encounters. Who wants to deal with that crap? I want to leave somewhere in the quarter or downtown CBD warehouse district, some tourist area, and I got to, you already got to deal with losers beating on a, flipped over 5-gallon lid, three-wheelers cranking up their crappy music, the smell of weed just flowing down the street like you're, I don't know, at Woodstock. Already got to deal with all that flooding, blight, trash. Already got to deal with all of that crap. But I got to deal with somebody getting hit on the back of the head, getting mugged, guns, knife, violent crime. Got to deal with that on top of all the other BS? No thanks. There's cities where you don't have to deal with three-wheelers cranking up the music, weed smell throughout the street, trash and blight everywhere, dark, nasty street. There's other places you don't have to deal with that, much less people mugging you, maybe murdering you. So no, this Keiko Gallery's saying we're out of here. The mayor's approval rating goes from, a mind-boggling 62% a year ago. It's like, God, you New Orleanians are ridiculous. And one group of New Orleanians, I will call out, they are ridiculous. Mayor's approval rating goes from 62% a year ago to 44% today, an 18-point drop. 48% disapprove of her leadership. Sadly, the approval rating, the mayor has a 56% approval rating with black folks. Like, the majority of black folks think LaToya Cantrell's doing a good job. That's where black folks, I got to tell you, this mentality of, in the barbershop, be critical of black. But outside the barbershop, where the white man or others can hear, don't be critical of black. It comes back to bite you on the rear end. Worrying about black more than fair, objective. It's unbelievable. It's mind-boggling. I see it all the time. I've had conversations with black folks where other black folks are hitting the guy like, shut up, don't talk in front of him. He's the enemy type of mentality. It's like, great, can this guy go away so you and I can have a conversation? Is this your keeper guy? You got to listen to this guy? Whitey's the problem? No, that mentality of, and this is a generalization, inner city, hardcore black folks that are like, anti-abortion, evangelical, homophobic. There's lots of generalizations you can make. And this is one. Nothing critical of anything black. The mayor of New Orleans has a 56% approval rating amongst black folks in New Orleans. It's 27% with white folks. Or should I change that to it's 27% with right folks? Thinking correctly. Jeez and Pete's. It's shocking 1 out of 4 New Orleanians, black, white, yellow, green, give the mayor an approval rating. Horrendous. And then the Switzerland trip, it just gets worse and worse. I've got a pretty wild imagination. That Switzerland trip just blew me away. That junket, sister city signing, really? Brought over some culture bearers. Some Mardi Gras Indians sort of sold out for the free trip to Europe. They knew it. Oh, God, we're going with the mayor to Europe to sign a sister city agreement with some city in Switzerland we've never, ever heard of before the mayor suggested we go. No, New Orleans has some major league problems. Bad mayor, citizens that are complicit. I love the Mardi Gras Indians, but not all of them. I'm sure there's some Mardi Gras Indians that said, no, y'all go. I'm not going. Culture bearers. What a broad term. 56% approval rating amongst black folks for the mayor. That is sad and pathetic. Black folks in New Orleans need some reflection. I'm a black person in New Orleans, I'd be embarrassed, you know? If it was Italians that reflected that, or Jews, or Irish, or Arab, or whatever, and that were my people, I'd be embarrassed. I'm a white guy. There are no my people. I'm white, male, heterosexual. I don't represent anything, you know? Definitely don't represent white people. Anyway, I just represent people, and that's pathetic, because the mayor's pathetic. Harry Rosenburg joins us next. We'll break down these new Supreme Court rulings. Don't move. The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, no cool side. NolaAC.com, no cool side.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring. Service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. East Bankers, West Bankers. Latrim has a job for you at their Elmwood facility under the UEP Long Bridge. North Shore folks, Latrim is hiring at their Hammond facility. For a full listing of positions available, go to latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com. He's the former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana. Harry Rosenburg joins us on the program again. Always a pleasure. How you doing, Harry?
Likewise, Corey. Well, I'm doing okay if the Supreme Court would start issuing rulings every 5 minutes.
It is. It's head spinning, and they're not just rulings. These are major, as big as it gets. Guns, abortion, prayer. I don't know what would be bigger than those three.
Absolutely. It's keeping you and me on our toes as well as your listeners, because there are some very substantive rulings and critical rulings, but they just seem to pop out every 4 or 5 seconds.
Yep, lately it's definitely that way. I guess we can go in chronological order. The gun law, I think, in New York was first. They strike down a century-old New York state gun law. California and 6 other states, I believe. It's not, these states weren't getting rid of the Second Amendment. They were just, I think in New York it was, as far as carry, you had to, if you wanted to personally carry all the time, you had to get a permit for that, and they ruled against that. Do I have that right? And what are your thoughts on that, Harry?
You do, and I think the nuance there, of course, is that the issue before the Supreme Court is whether you had to establish probable cause that you were in danger to be able to carry. And the Supreme Court said absolutely not. That violates the Second Amendment as well as the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. And people do not have to show that they were in danger or have any concerns about their safety. They're entitled to apply for the license and get the license without that threshold showing.
Where does that law basically go from here? I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be some proponents of what they would say are common sense gun laws where we're not getting rid of the Second Amendment, but we would like to sort of restrict as far as who is eligible for guns. And in most of these instances, Harry, it seems like it's about 99% of the population's eligible still, but
no, I mean, that's right, particularly on the heels of what happened in Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas. I mean, those mass shootings just tend to be in conflict at times with this ruling, but it certainly expands the right to carry, and we'll have to see whether that has ramifications in hopefully not other mass shootings, Corey, but how it's going to play out in that citizens have to show that probable cause or show that they're in some threat of danger, and whether that's going to imperil public safety is anybody's guess. But it's still a little early to tell. But I think that other states will follow New York's lead.
Louisiana had legislation, I don't think it passed, where anyone could buy a gun, no training, carry right away. That just seems crazy, like easier to get a gun than to get a driver's license in Louisiana. Why isn't it anyone can just buy a car and drive a car at a certain age if they can do that with a gun? I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't want to offend any folks who are wedded to the Second Amendment. I am one of those people wedded to the Second Amendment, but it does cause disquiet among those families who have felt some of these mass shootings, have lost children, have lost loved ones, and whether public officials who are crying out against this ruling about their concern for public safety will be proven right, or whether it's going to be less of an issue than the brouhaha that we've heard so far from the elected officials, including the governor of New York.
Harry Rosenberg's with us for a few minutes on the program. Harry, what was Roe versus Wade, essentially? What was this 1973 ruling? And almost 50 years, 49 years in existence. What was it? And I guess what was the Mississippi argument?
Well, the Mississippi argument essentially, as you know, Corey, and many of your listeners are better educated than I am on this issue, but in a nutshell, it's whether there was any constitutional basis for an abortion. And the Supreme Court, instead of just looking at the 15-week issue that the Mississippi case sort of teed up before the Supreme Court, which Chief Justice Roberts alluded to, went beyond that as to whether the Mississippi law on the 15th week prohibiting abortions after the 15th week of pregnancy, and said, we're going to overrule Roe versus Wade, and we're going to overrule its companion cases, and we're going to say that there's no constitutional right to an abortion, period. And then it's up to the states now to make those decisions, and as we know, more than half the states have followed suit, including Louisiana, with its trigger laws, saying if Roe versus Wade gets overturned, then our laws prohibiting abortion become effective within 30 days from the Supreme Court's ruling.
Harry, why Roe versus Wade left to the states and guns federal?
Well, if I had the answer to that question, Corey, I'd be maybe not sitting on the Supreme Court, but perhaps getting a little closer to it. It's hard to know the nuances of these rulings. There, as you know, and many of your listeners know, these rulings that we're talking about this afternoon were 6-3. They were all split decisions by the Supreme Court, and it was the conservative justices, several of whom were recently appointed by President Trump before he left office, that made the difference.
Now, one argument would be guns are a Second Amendment right. Both are laws, right? And the 22nd Amendment knocked out the 18th Amendment, I think, prohibition, if I've got those right. So amendments aren't permanent. So they're both laws. What's the argument about, hey, one's a Second Amendment, one's not? Is it valid, that argument?
Well, I mean, you've got different considerations in play, but I think what Justice Alito wrote for the court was that there is no constitutional right to an abortion. In contrast to what the Supreme Court said about the right to carry, a right to get, a right to have licenses to carry weapons in New York, in sharp contrast, he said, look, there is no constitutional right here. It's forget it. And we're going to vacate Roe. We're going to vacate the companion case of Planned Parenthood versus Casey back in 1992, where you remember there were some Republican justices who were sort of the swing decision makers of Sandra Day O'Connor, Kennedy, and Souter, and then now we have an entirely different court. And I think that if you take one more step, Corey, if I could, and you look at Justice Thomas's concurring opinion in the Mississippi case, he basically opens it up to look at a lot of precedents as to whether gay marriages are going to be permitted, whether contraception, even among married adults, will be permitted. And so an array of things, although Justice Alito was quick to say, no, we're only focused on abortion. We're not focused on all these other precedents that Justice Thomas has written about. But, look, I think we have to say that's at least in the wind.
Harry, can you stick around one more segment?
Sure. I'm always happy to talk with you.
Harry Rosenberg's with us, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana, a real lawyer, a real attorney. Texted me earlier today when we were setting this up saying had to go to court earlier today. Loves the law, likes to know the other side, how it all works, how you win, how your argument's better than theirs, all that stuff. Passionate about the law. Harry Rosenberg's with us. Corey Johnson with you. We're coming right back on a Monday afternoon, kind of cloudy, lower temperatures. Feels good out there. Don't move.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Corey Johnson back at you on a Monday afternoon. Helm Paint and Decorating. I was over at their Earhart/Carrollton location, the original. They've been there in that block for about 50 plus years. 7 locations in all, including their newest on the West Bank stump at West Bank Expressway. But they'll deliver anywhere in the metro area in 2 hours. When you want to paint in Metro New Orleans, you go to Helm. Do it once, do it right. Let them steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. Former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana, Harry Rosenburg, is joining us on the program. I got to come up with a better description for you, Harry. That was 30 years ago almost. When you said adios to that.
I'm trying to keep up with you, Corey, but I know I'll never do it. So just trying to work as hard as possible.
Well, you were in court earlier today. You do love the law. You do have a passion for the law. It's in your DNA, isn't it?
It is. I enjoy it. Everybody has their own pleasures, but I like waking up in the morning, I hate to say this, and going to work and doing my best to practice law.
Why aren't you on a billboard with don't get a check until you check with Harry? What's going on there, man? You're missing the boat. Yeah, well, no comment is best, Harry.
No comment. I'm not going to touch that one, Corey. Yeah. You throw these hand grenades at me, and I'm just going to stay quiet.
Yeah. I remember they had a great idea in the legislature where they were going to, either no billboard ads or just diminish them greatly. And those types of lawyers really fought back on that. You know, it kills me, Harry. You buy a billboard and there's another lawyer right below your billboard. And I'm not saying you, these attorneys. It's like, man, if I'm going to be on a billboard, the other sign better be a restaurant or something and not competition. But anyway, let's get off of that. No, go ahead if you wanted to jump in real quick.
Well, I was going to move to the third. This is almost like the trifecta of Supreme Court decisions that just came out today, which was Kennedy versus Bremerton School District. And I think this is a little closer to your heart, Corey, because of your sports background, your sports broadcast. But here's a high school coach over in the state of Washington who, and by coincidence, named Joe Kennedy, and was praying after the game in midfield. And then as time went on, the players joined him in a quiet prayer, not including all the attendees at the game, but just that group in midfield. And both the district court and the court of appeal said, no, that was a violation of separation of church and state. And the Supreme Court went again in a divided decision, but 6-3 in favor of Coach Kennedy, said, no, this was a personal expression of his rights under the free speech clause of the First Amendment, as well as an understanding of the Establishment Clause that we are all familiar with. And then it allowed him and his players to have quiet prayers after each game at the 50-yard line, even though the school's argument was, wait a minute, we've offered Coach Kennedy an opportunity to have those prayers, but in a different spot other than the middle of the field. He declined, and so they removed Coach Kennedy from his position, and now after this ruling, his public comment was, I'm ready to apply for my old job back.
Yeah, and it appears he's getting his old job back. The only thing that it reminds me of that Slidell case here in Louisiana a few years ago, where I think they put a Jesus Christ picture on the wall at the courthouse, and someone complained about that. I think it was someone who was a Christian, actually, and said, if you put Jesus up there, you got to let everybody else. That's a mess. Just don't put Jesus up there. And they ended up compromising, and the guy was exactly right. They left Jesus up there, and now they're like all kind of photos of all kind of people supposedly up on that wall. I don't think the Martian spaghetti monster religion or whatever that one was that was on the intranet device there for a while, Harry. But, I think you're opening a can of worms, and I think everybody, the first thought is, gosh, what's the harm, Harry? They're out there just praying, and I'm just like, what if the guy had on a turban and it was some Sikh religion, or what if it was Muslims, or what if it was some Jewish guys that, hardcore with the long beards and those outfits and the long hair. I just think, if it's sort of Christian folks out there, it's all right. And what's the problem? I just don't think these folks have that much empathy, including the Supreme Court on this ruling. I don't think they're thinking about what kind of can of worms it opens for folks that want to come out and have their whatever ceremony after the game with the coach. I don't know.
Well, Corey, that was exactly tracking the dissent by these three justices. He said, wait a minute, you are opening up Pandora's box, as you mentioned, and we're going to have all kind of prayers or different iterations of prayers on the ball field. And is that what we're really going to say is permissible under the First Amendment and the doctrine of separation of church and state? But the Supreme Court said, no, this is a private, personal prayer by Coach Kennedy and those few individuals on the team who joined him. It was not coerced. It did not include, as said, the entire attendees. It didn't force anybody to say the prayer, even though the school offered an alternative. And Coach Kennedy had his victory day today, and he could probably take a couple of laps.
Yep, no pun intended. It just seems that for like a, I don't know, De La Salle or Jesuit or St. Aug or something, it's fine. They're Catholic, or Newman or St. Martin's or Dominican, those are private. That seems fine. But for like Ben Franklin, it's a public school. They shouldn't be having this certain prayer thing. I don't know. That's how I look at it. It reminds me also of the Ten Commandments.
It's going to depend a lot. Is going to turn upon the coach's preference. I mean, as you mentioned a moment ago, which I think is important, and hopefully your listeners agree at least to this concept, which is, if you have a Muslim coach, if you have a Jewish coach, if you have a Pentecostal coach, what does that change the dynamics at all from this ruling? And it seems to me that this ruling in the Kennedy case opens the door for all types of religious prayers to occur by a given coach at a given school, and a public school at that.
And it seems to sort of mirror that Ten Commandments monument that some legislator wanted to build on the Capitol grounds, public property in Baton Rouge, and almost immediately there was some Lucifer devil worshiper. I don't know if you remember, like a throne with the devil and two kids sitting on the devil's lap. That was the statue they were going to put there. So who says that the coach couldn't be like a devil worshiper? I think you're just opening the door for all this, and what my faith is and all that's sort of irrelevant. I don't get it, Harry. I really don't.
Well, I mean, of course, the court focused on the mutual respect and tolerance for religious as well as non-religious views alike, and that was the springboard that the 6 justices used to conclude that this type of prayer, private prayer, was permissible even in a public school.
Harry Rosenberg's with us for a few minutes. Louisiana district judge in New Orleans blocks the statewide trigger ban, but I don't think this has a lot of long-term, strength to it or hold. This is sort of a temporary gimmick, isn't it, Harry? Just strictly, hey, we don't understand the law. When's it start? It's vague. They're going to tighten that up, and then that ends that argument, right?
Well, I think two things. You're absolutely right. We're going back to the abortion ruling.
Yep.
And Judge Giarrusso here in Orleans Civil District Court concluded that the trigger law, which meant that the prohibition of abortions occurred within 30 days from a ruling that vacated Roe versus Wade. And she said, that's constitutionally too vague, and I'm going to prohibit anybody from enforcing it throughout the state. I think either the state's going to square those issues up, or secondly, and a more likely situation is that an appellate court will reverse her. Now, she didn't say that's permanent. She's only issued a temporary restraining order.
Yep.
So she's going to have a full hearing on July 8th. But even if she affirms her ruling and says it is still constitutionally vague, and they've established that, the plaintiffs have established that, so I'm going to enjoin the trigger laws from occurring. She still has to, or at least that ruling by her has to go through several layers of appellate review.
I didn't mean to jump around back to that when I had forgotten that question and we were heading towards the next break.
And
I wanted
I'll
to slip it in.
just quickly add, Corey, the other issue that, if we have one moment to touch upon it, is, some of the provisions of those laws permit criminal prosecution of not only the women who seek abortions, but the doctors who perform them, as well as people in the clinic or people in the clinic who assist those abortions. And so you have a relatively small number of district attorneys, but including the district attorney here in Orleans Parish, who said, I've got better things to do, and I don't intend to prosecute those individuals at all, even though I have that discretion. And I think those district attorneys, and there are about 50 of them across the country who have taken a similar position, have that type of unfettered discretion.
Yep, no doubt. Harry, also, it also shows Louisiana such a pro-life state. 06 law signed by a Democrat female. 2020 law signed by a Democrat. It's not just hardcore right evangelical types. Louisiana's pro-life for sure.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's why when people say, there's relief that can be gotten through the legislature or the voters maybe in other states, but I just don't see it happening in Louisiana or a number of other sister states that we know, whether it's to the left or to the right of us, whether it's Mississippi or Texas. I mean, those people are firm about their beliefs regarding prohibiting abortion.
Yep, deeply entrenched. Harry Rosenberg, always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Corey, thanks for hearing me out. Thanks to your listeners, and you take care, buddy.
You too. That's Harry Rosenberg joining us. Corey Johnson with You Don't Move.
Unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you. Thanks so much for joining us. On the radio, we're on TV every day till 5:30. Cox Channel 4, everywhere in Louisiana. Spectrum, Channel 333, everywhere in Louisiana. CoreyTalks.com. You can click to subscribe. Oh, that's YouTube, my bad. YouTube channel. Click to subscribe. Click on the notification bell, the thumbs up. It don't cost nothing. Yeah, we're on YouTube every day, and you can listen after the fact. So if you miss any of Harry Rosenberg, you can check it out later. No, and I think you got my take on all 3 of these Supreme Court rulings. No, it's as big as it gets, and they are back to back to back. Boom, boom, boom. You know, I was trying to tell this to a buddy of mine last week, and he got off the phone with me. Very liberal, doesn't like Donald Trump. I mean, I agree on all his descriptions of Trump personally, but he doesn't get when I try to explain to him, like, conservatives vote conservatively, and Donald Trump represents them, and they're not voting Democrat or liberal like you, and they think that party's a joke. And I do too. You know, I kind of think both are. But I was trying to explain to him, I'm like, you can like Donald Trump, dislike Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump is a caustic person. Everybody who listens or watches this program knows what I think about Donald Trump. And I think history will look at him in not the greatest light as president. But his Supreme Court 3 picks and what they are doing, that is his legacy that only a fool would deny. Only someone that is hyper-liberal, that just hates Donald Trump, it's through every bone in their body that you can't acknowledge that. He appointed not 1, not 2, 3, a third of the Supreme Court Donald Trump appointees. And they're doing this hyper-conservative stuff that folks on that side have been hoping for and praying for. I mean, Roe versus Wade, it's like decades and decades these folks have been praying for this. The prayer coach ruling, love it. Go out there and do Christianity on the field after the game. Gun laws in New York, no restrictions at all. Wild, Wild West. So these folks love these selections, love these picks, and love what these 3 Supreme Court justices with the other conservatives are doing. Look at these decisions, 6-3, every single one. And Roberts is sort of, Roberts wasn't like, he's not, it's really 5-3. And Roberts is sort of, Roberts wouldn't have done Roe versus Wade unless they had the 5 going for it. So this Donald Trump legacy, the 3 Supreme Court justice selections, and it's happening right in front of you. Guns, abortion, religion. Boom, boom, boom. Carpet bombing. No, Republicans know how to win elections. No, you're not putting in that Supreme Court justice, Barack Obama. Yes, we are putting this one in, even though Trump's going out. They get it done. They get it done. Quick little energy independence, quick little catchphrases. Liberals and Democrats want to explain everything to you. Wait, let me explain it to you. So wait. No, you wait. Telling me wait and I got to listen to you? It's got to explain it to me. I don't want to hear it. It's America, microwave society. We like things lightning quick and fast. Republicans get it. And Democrats with Hollywood and liberal and talent and creative can't figure it out. It's mind-boggling. It really is. Republicans don't win because, boy, Republicans have some fantastic ideas. They're trendsetters. They're cutting edge. Honestly, I'm a registered independent for a reason. Wouldn't want to be associated with either party. But the Democrats are just pathetic. They lose. Republicans win by default. Their competition is pathetic. Don't know what's up or down or any of it. I got to check my cue card. What's it say? Go to caller. His name, you have Ed in Metri in bold letters. Thank you, President Biden. Those cue cards were terrible. Ed in Metri, what's going on? Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. I just want to make this comment. Don't judge a book by its cover. And I want to say that Harry Rosenburg, I've met him on several occasions at the Civil Court building. He's one of the most nicest, well-spoken, up-to-date guys you ever want to meet. He's always took time to talk to me and, whatever, and he's passing in, he's a very nice guy, great guy.
Yeah, why would you say don't judge a book by the cover? I don't get. What do you mean?
Well, if you look at it sometimes, he's kind of eccentric looking, but
yeah, he's got long hair. He's wearing, I'm
just saying, nothing wrong with that. That's his style.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, once he speaks, he would never. That goes away.
Yep.
He talks up to date things. He knows everything. He's a very well educated man.
Oh yeah.
And he's down to earth.
Yep.
I give you the example. I got a friend of mine dressed as GQ. He's a lawyer. He comes through civil court, nods his head at me, and walks away. Hey, how you doing? That's it. We've been lifelong friends up until high school, and this guy, I never knew him a day in my life, and he comes to me.
You're beneath him now, Ed.
Like we knew him.
You're beneath him now, Ed.
Right. Well, and he went to one of those, I'm not going to mention the name of the school, but it's blue and white, and they have a bird for a mascot.
Oh,
and
boy, all right.
So I went to Rumble, and I'm a deputy sheriff. But what I'm saying is, not to get that, that's just an example of, how people get to be, and this man's at the top of his profession, and he's nicest man could be.
No, Harry is, he's absurdly accomplished, he's insanely intelligent, he's ridiculously well-read, he's passionate about the law, he was in court today. He's a senior partner at Phelps Dunbar, I think. It's like, one of the largest firms in the South. This guy is like a who's who of attorneys in the country. In the early 90s, he was the US Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana. I mean, this
nice
guy's
guy.
the you-know-what.
Tom talked to me, and real nice guy.
Yep. No, you're right.
The metal detector, nice guy.
Yep. Ed, thanks for the call from Metri. You're right on the money. He is. Humble, nice, all of that. No, he's got the long hair, maybe a slightly eccentric look. Whoop-de-doo. What's he supposed to wear? The, suit with, certain style or look? The poplin suit or something? Anyway, no, I love Harry Rosenburg. What's that, Blue Boy? Ridiculously informative, smart, to the point, knows the law. Great takes, great opinions. No, you're right. Worth checking out again on YouTube at a later time. You're right, Blue Boy. The 4 o'clock hour with Harry Rosenberg was good, buddy. What's that? 5 o'clock powwow next. You're right, Blue Boy. Folks should stick around. Blue Boy, you don't miss a beat, and you want some kibble in to be walked. All right.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Chapatoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, You think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
It's Taxi, but the new version called Cab. It's Cab. Since Danny DeVito would not do the program, we picked up Mini-Me instead. It's Cab. No Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Instead, it's Cab. Not to be confusing, brought to you by Tab. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees, number 9, for pulling us out of that one. That was going in a downward spiral, and quickly, Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. 5 o'clock, hour coming your way. Brought to you by Fausto's Italian Bistro. Now, that's a good way to get your Monday started, like I did earlier today. Sat at the bar at Fausto's. Got a little red beans and rice with that pane chicken. Thin chicken, banged out thin. Italian breadcrumbs, Italian seasonings, crispy. And the red beans and rice, an age-old recipe. The only thing on Fausto's menu that's not Italian or Sicilian, those Monday red beans and rice, but they're some of the best anywhere. So yeah, I started off my week the right way, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. They have officially opened the doors this moment for dinner tonight for the next 4 hours till 9 p.m. You can enjoy Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets yourself. Parmesan crusted pesce, so good. That pesce Vittorio, it's black drum grilled with olive oil and garlic and lemon. It's not fattening, it's not heavy, it's healthy for you, and it is so flavorful and fantastic. Everything's fresh, everything's homemade. Tonight for dinner, the doors are open, convenient parking, conveniently located, great service, great Sicilian and Italian. Tonight for dinner, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Yeah, you right, 5 o'clock power hour. On this Monday, brought to you by Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Last hour, former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana, Harry Rosenburg, joined us on the program. The new Supreme Court, monumental rulings in just the last few weeks. Gun laws in New York, Roe versus Wade, the player-coach ruling, the prayer-coach ruling, I should say. I don't know, I got to personally have to sort of disagree on all of them. They seem that they're high maintenance, hard to maintain, more about restriction than freedom. The gun law in New York, that's been there a century. That's their choice. The Second Amendment still prevails. I just don't get this, gun in everybody's hand. That legislation in Louisiana earlier in the year. Anyone can buy a gun at 18, no training necessary, it's just a tool, go. How's that difference from a car? How about 15, no driver's license needed, no training needed, no testing, just get in and drive. You'll figure it out. You shoot it in the woods in the gun when no one is, and you figure out how it works. You go in a parking lot somewhere on a Saturday and figure out how to drive. I mean, it's kind of mind-boggling. It really is. It's not about anti-Second Amendment. Where's the line drawn right now? Where you can't have automatic weapons. You can't have a machine gun. You can't have a bazooka. Hey, I like this little howitzer cannon, and we bring it to the hunting camp, and we blow up the old hunting blind with it. We fire these big shells the size of your arm out of it, and we blow stuff up. You can't do that. Hey, we've got TNT and explosives. We like blowing stuff up. There's a line drawn already. The line can be moved, but, politicians on the left and the right and the extremists, it's the Second Amendment gone or not. It isn't about that. It isn't about that. And what the Supreme Court did, I disagree, but agree or disagree, they're moving the line of the Second Amendment right there. Roe versus Wade. I mean, I say this this is such a Ron Burgundy type of quote. I say this half joking, half serious, but I'm 110% serious too. I'm not going to tell a woman what to do. Seriously. That's insane to me. And the prayer coach ruling, I think it's a lot of people that look at it through their lens only, have no empathy for any other religion or how any other people feel. And they go, what's wrong with people out there, good Christians, after the football game praying? I'm Catholic. I'm Christian. I'd probably participate if I played in the after-game prayer at the center of the field if it were taking place. I guess I'd participate as a high school kid. But I bet you there'd be some kids that wouldn't participate, that don't believe in God, and that's their prerogative, or they're Jewish, or they believe in a different God. They're not Christians. And then, it's just prayer. You pray to anyone, take a moment to, then you're starting to get in all kind of different stuff. It's a public school. I think these same folks that are pro-prayer would be offended if the coach wore a turban and then went to midfield and did some Sikh religious, Indian religion ceremony of prayer. They'd be like, what the hell is that? I don't know what God they're praying to. It turns into something else. Jewish folks, especially, the extreme type of Jewish, folks, what is it, Hasidic? With the long hair, the beard, the twirling hair. I mean, the black outfits, the robes and all that. No problem judging those folks, good, bad, indifferent. But a lot of folks, I think, at the high school game in Bunkie saw those guys go out there in a group and let's pray, may not go over so well. Or Muslims and praying to Muhammad or Allah might not go over so well. I think it's best you just leave that stuff alone. And that's my faith. I believe in Jesus. I'd participate in the prayer. No, this coach was offered, you could pray off to the side, a different spot. No, it's got a 50-yard line after the game. Ben Watson said religious freedom. He tweeted it a little while ago. It's a right. No one's saying you can't pray. No one's saying you can't pray. But it just opens up the door for so much else. And you can go, oh, God, Corey, and roll your eyes. I'm going to give you a real-life example of this. They had a legislature that wanted to put the Ten Commandments, a monument of the Ten Commandments, on the Capitol grounds in Baton Rouge. Folks are like, what's wrong with that? You believe in the Ten Commandments or not, religion or not, there's there. Great, then you open up the door for every other religion that gets to go on that grounds. And one group that was like out of North Carolina heard about this, and they were going to put up a statue of a throne with Lucifer, the devil, sitting there with two kids sitting on the devil's lap. Little Jimmy and little Sally sitting on the devil's lap with horns, the tail, the whole 9 yards. Don't take my word for it. Google it. That's in Louisiana. Let's put up the Ten Commandments. Hey, that's fine. Well, it's not hurting anybody. And then this Lucifer thing comes up, and it's like, my God. I mean, you needed a punch in the face. The guy, the legislator, needed to get his molar knocked out to realize the implications of his law. So they 86'd it. They got rid of it. Is the spaghetti monster religion coming to a high school, public school football field for prayer soon? Probably so. You're inviting the lunatic liberal left to come up with the spaghetti monster prayer that has to be recognized at the high school game. You're going to have some coach that, is going to more concerned about law or what he thinks. He's passionate about that than his own job. Is going to go out there and want to perform some crazy religious act, whatever, voodoo or Lucifer, devil worship, whatever, and you got to allow them to do it. Devil worship's a religion. It just seems pretty simple for me that, no, do it somewhere else. And I'm for it. Just do it somewhere else. I get a girl pregnant, we're going to have the baby. She's going to ultimately decide. She's the one carrying it. She could go against me. It's a 50-50. She gets the 51%. She gets the deciding vote if we disagree. But me, I want to have the baby. For me personally, I'm not for abortion, for me. But I'm not going to tell anyone else what to do, especially a woman. Even the person I'm with, how can I stop her? Men don't carry, no matter what you woke folks think. Women do. And in New York State, everyone can carry now. Everyone can carry now. That's the only problem with this literal interpretation, this hyper-right interpretation of the Second Amendment. I don't want to go into the Target or to the Circle K or to my favorite restaurant and look over and there's a dude with a gun across his chest. Someone packing heat in some restaurant or somewhere I'm going. I'm supposed to feel good like that guy will protect me in case someone comes here and robs. Maybe that guy will shoot me by accident in case someone comes in here and robs. Look how much wine he's had to drink. Now, I'm not a big fan of everybody pack heat. I'm not a big fan of everybody having a driver's license. Are you kidding? Too many people on the roads right here in New Orleans and Louisiana that should not be driving. I like how Germany does their driver's license. A little tougher to get one.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you. Or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody had a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good, and we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday. Dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommy'slockhandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Former U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Louisiana, Harry Rosenburg, joined us talking about these new Supreme Court rulings, monumental rulings over the last week or two. Guns, abortion, religion. Huge decisions that are changing America in a lot of ways. And folks that want to diminish Donald Trump and his legacy, you know, as far as how he's perceived historically, I'm sure the stories are going to get wilder and wilder. The more folks that worked in Trump's administration coming forward with just crazy anecdotes, we're going to hear more and more in those as history goes on. More and more people coming forward. But Donald Trump put 3 Supreme Court justices on that court, a third, and there is a clear conservative majority. Every ruling is falling down 6-3, really 5-3. John Roberts is sort of caught in the middle. And some of the biggest, most important issues for all Americans, 3 major decisions that are monumental, historic. They'll be talked about a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 25 years from now. This gun law in New York, striking it down in New York State, California, 6 other states, basically saying you can't restrict who gets a gun. You can't, hey, let's do a background check. This person has to have, you know, a need for a gun or whatever the reason is. You can't restrict. Anyone can basically have a gun. It opens up the door for that. We had a Louisiana legislator that was trying to pass a law. Anyone 18 can buy a gun, no training needed. You can buy the gun, you can buy the bullets. It's like a chainsaw or a circular saw at Lowe's or Home Depot. You don't know how to use it. You need training. You cut your arm off if you're not careful. The gun's no different. I don't get why we need a driver's license and training to get to drive a car. That seems like the same thing. We'll figure it out, right? So no, it opens up. It's not about Second Amendment going away or not. It's about wide open, Wild West. Like anyone over 18 can have a gun for any reason. It's going to turn into concealed carry doesn't matter. I don't want to be in places where I'm worrying about a bunch of people are packing heat, because guns make people artificially strong. I mean, when you're driving in a car, men are great at this, yelling and flipping a bird to a woman, elderly people, a child, but some big dude in a jacked up truck that looks like he'll get out and pull you out through the window and beat the crap out of you, men aren't yelling at that dude so much. But folks with road rage, men love ripping on women and elderly and folks that aren't threatening to them. A gun changes all of that. People with a gun start mouthing off, start cocking off, start being the bigger man than they were. They get into situations they would not get into. Like, boy, I don't want to mess with that guy. He could beat me up. I don't want to mess with that guy. I'll mess with that guy now. I've got my gun. I'm packing, and I'm going to show you who's right. Now, the Wild Wild West mentality where anyone can carry a gun, No permits needed, concealed carry. That just, I don't know. You walk out the door with the gun sober. What, do you give it up to the bartender when you cross the line where you're too drunk? Look how many people drive that are buzzed and drunk. That drive. They're going to relinquish control of their gun? And then so many gun folks think how they shoot at the range is how they'll shoot in an incident. Just unbelievable. Now, like I said going into the break, we have too many people driving in New Orleans and in Louisiana. We could probably get rid of about 10 to 15% of driver's licenses because a lot of people have no idea how to drive. No clue. They're selfish. They don't know any better. They're belligerent. Just, I don't know what it is. There's not a proactive, I'm driving this 2-ton thing. Let me be thinking about it. Just going through my motions in life. Don't even remember the ride to and from point A to B. Oblivious of what went down. God, I don't even know where I was. I don't know what road I took. Now, in Germany, it's a little harder to get a driver's license. There's some folks that don't get them. Here, I think we could restrict driver's license before we give guns away, huh? I don't... Seems pretty simple and commonsensical to me. Roe versus Wade. I don't know. I'm not going to tell a woman anything how to do something. I don't tell anyone how to do anything. And when a man and a woman in a relationship, it's a 50-50. We decide together. But in that instance, pregnancy, the woman gets the deciding vote if we're tied and disagree. Hey, I want to have the baby. She says, I don't. Then the baby's gone. That's how it is. What this new ruling's going to do is middle class, affluent folks, they'll go to another state. Poor folks are going to have more babies. That's what that's going to do. The player or the prayer coach ruling. My faith, I'm a Christian. I'm Catholic. I'm a New Orleans Catholic boy. I believe in Jesus. That's my guy. That's my faith. That's what I believe in. I don't really care if you believe in it or not. It'd be great if you do. That's wow. We have something in common. We both believe the same thing. We connect. If you don't believe in Jesus like I do, that doesn't mean we're not going to connect. Just one thing we won't connect on is that. But, I don't think people that have religion have morals, ethics, and integrity compared to people that don't. There's a better percentage you'll have more ethics, integrity, and morals because you have a religion and believe in God than if you don't. I don't believe in any of that. My faith, that's my personal choice. It's my faith. I just don't think that should be thrown on everybody. And I think these folks that are like, what's wrong with prayer after a football game? Nothing. How about the big dude in the turban leads a Sikh Indian prayer? How about we get the Hasidic Jews out there with the long hairs and, the curly hair and the beards, and we'll have them lead the prayer. How about we get some Muslims in the Muslim garb all covered up? Why don't we have them lead the prayer? You're cool with that in Bunkie? Bunch of Muslims, the Quran out there, we're praying to God. Muslims believe Jesus Christ is a prophet. I think Jesus in Islam was like, hey, Muhammad's coming next. Jesus is considered a prophet, like a very important prophet. I just don't get why you'd want to go there with that. And I told you the example in Louisiana where a legislator wanted to put a Ten Commandments monument on the public Capitol grounds. And then some group out of North Carolina was saying, that's fine, we get equal space. And they wanted to put the devil, there were some devil worshipers, the devil sitting on a throne, horns, tail, with a little boy and a little girl sitting on his lap. That was their statue. So voodoo or devil worshiping, that might be the prayer after the football game at public school. That's the door that is being opened. I think there's a lack of empathy here on the court on these kind of things. Like they think it's just like Christian prayer after the game, praying to God. And it might be praying to the devil after the game. And that's their choice, and you're given the green light for that. Anyway, 3 monumental rulings in the last few weeks by the Supreme Court, as big as it gets. Guns, abortion, and religion. Guns, abortion, and religion. Super important to the conservative evangelical hyper-right. No, and folks on the left that are in denial about Donald Trump, you can say stinks, you can say he's immoral, womanizer, hypocrite, liar, whatever. His record is 3 conservative judges on the Supreme Court, a third of the Supreme Court, Donald Trump appointees. Like Donald Trump, hate Donald Trump, think he's a laughingstock. His legacy is set with those 3 appointees to the Supreme Court and decisions they've made in the last few weeks that conservatives are embracing. Guns in New York, Roe versus Wade, and the prayer coach. Guns, abortion, and religion all going the way they want, in their favor. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Yeah,